Hi friends, it's Miss B here. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. Um, I hope you've been keeping up with the videos I've been posting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you have not done so already, please take a look at the previous videos I've been posting. Now let's take a look at today's problem. Feel free to follow along at home as I read it aloud. Claire went home after school and told her mother that 1 whole is the same as 2 halves and 6/6. Her mother asked why, but Claire couldn't explain. Use a number line and words to help Claire show and explain why 1 equals 2 halves equals 6/6. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place each of these numbers or fractions onto each of the following number lines. So we can begin with our first number, 1 whole. So our endpoints going to be 0 and 1. And that's all we have to do since we have no fractions to put in between each endpoint. Now, we want to prove that 1 whole is the same as or equivalent to 2 halves and 6/6. So, beginning with 2 halves, we're just going to do the same thing. So our endpoints are 0 and 1. And since our fractional unit is halves, we're just going to label each fraction on our second number line. Since we are dealing with halves, we know that all we need to do is add 1 line in between each whole number. Now, next thing we're going to do is just label each half beginning with 0. 0 halves, 1 half, and 2 halves. So far we have used the number line to label where 1 whole would go, where 2 halves would go, and last but not least, we have to label where 6/6 would go. So using the same method as before, we're just going to label our endpoints 0 and 1. And since we are dealing with 6, we know that we need 5 lines in between each whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So now our number line is split into 6. So next thing we're going to do is we're just going to label each 6 beginning with 0. So 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, last but not least, 6, 6. So we're trying to prove that each of these numbers and fractions are equivalent to one another. So I want you to take a second, pause the video, and think about how you can prove that each of these fractions are equivalent to one another. So taking a look at our number lines, we have 1 whole. Let's change the color. We have 1 whole right here. We have 2 halves right here. And last but not least, 6/6 right here. So I want you to think about how we can prove that each of these are equivalent. Once you have your answer, unpause the video and we will review it together. So hopefully you realized that each of these numbers or fractions lie at the same point. Now keep in mind, each of our number lines are the same length, they have the same endpoints, yet even though they are different fractional units, they all equal 1 whole. So in other words, we can say 1 whole is equal to 2 halves, which is equal to 6 sixths, since they all fall at the same whole number despite being different fractional units. So if we were to write that as a sentence, we could say that all of, excuse my handwriting, the fractions are at the same whole number. Now go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back, and please make sure to tune in, for Monday's video. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.